Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. From this session, we are going to start another topic, but it is again related to ngModelGroup itself, where we will learning the entire process to access the values of ngModelGroup. So there are different ways through which we can access these values. So one by one we will cover sessions to cover all possible scenarios, so that whenever there is a requirement in your project to access the ngModelGroup value, you can directly use any of the one method as per your project requirement. Okay, so in this particular session mainly we will be discussing a scenario where we will see how to access the ngModelGroup value directly in the component or TS file. Okay, so to make things easier for you, what we will do, like firstly I'll explain you the requirement of the form, and then accordingly we will define the form and verify the output. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use ngModelGroup, how to access the values of ngModelGroup. But if you don't know the previous things like what is ngModelGroup, why do we use it, and other basic stuff, then it would be a bit complex for you. So that is why I am recommending you to go through the basic sessions first. And for that, like, you can refer the Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find more than 3000 plus free resources, which is available in both Hindi as well as English language. So as per your convenience, you can go through it and consume the content, which is more than 3000 plus free resources in both Hindi or English. Okay, alright, so let's get started. Here you can see currently I am in app.component.html file, where we have two headings. First is showing Angular course by Sharmit, and then second one showing template driven form in Angular for access ngModelGroup value in component TS file. Okay, alright, now what we will be doing after this, like, we will add two horizontal row, and in between these horizontal rows we will define the form. Now my question is, what is the requirement, like how we are going to design the form? So to design the form, the requirement is straightforward. We have two input field, one is name and email, and that name and email we will put into a ngModelGroup for user details, and then later on we will access that value inside our application, or you can say component.ts file. Okay, alright, so let's define the form. So here firstly I'll write form, and in this form we will assign the template reference variable, that is my form, ngForm. It is showing error. Why? Because we haven't declared the forms module yet. So firstly go to app.component.ts file. Here we will write forms module. Okay, so it is added. Now you can see forms module is added inside this form. Now next what we will do, we will simply expand it, and here we will define the form now. Okay, so let's say we want to store user detail. Okay, so for that, and always make sure that this forms module is imported here as well, otherwise it won't work. Okay, fine. Now we will add the div, because we want to store the information, and here I will create the model ngModelGroup. Okay, so this, I think this is same, yeah. Okay, so ngModelGroup, and let's assign it as a name user details. Okay, now after this what we will do, we will create one label here. In this label I will write the name. Okay, name and email. So firstly we will write name, then we will add the input field. In this input field, name and ngModel is very mandatory, important thing. So firstly let's add name as name itself, and then we will write ngModel. Perfect, so this thing is added. Now after this we will simply add the next thing, that is label again, where we will write email. So this label is for email field. Okay, now we will add the input field. In this input field we will write name, which is email itself, and ng model. Perfect. What is wrong here? Something is wrong. We added ng model, which is perfect. Then we have two quotes. Okay, something is wrong here. Not sure what. Okay, let me rewrite it. Something maybe we missed. So we will write here input, and then I will write here name as email, and ng model. Okay, now it is fine. So we have added both labels with their input field. Now we know that to submit the data we need a button, right? So just after the div we will create the button, and in this button we will write submit. Okay, we will write here submit, and also here we will add click to bind it, and let's say the function name is send form data. Okay, and inside this we will pass my form. So this thing is ready. Now you can see this method is defined. Like this method is not defined, that is why it is showing this error. So we will define it for sure. So just copy it so that there is no case mismatch. Always make sure that whatever method variable you are using, it should be in the exact same case, otherwise it will throw the error, because here each and every character is case sensitive, right? So let's go to app.component.ts file, because from HTML wise something is wrong here. Yeah, HTML wise we are good, right? So this is what exactly we need from HTML part. Now we will just simply try to access the value, because this is our main task, right? So for that we will go to app.component.ts file, where we have this forms module which we already imported. Now just expand this app component, and here we will mention the required thing, that is the method. So I'll just paste it here, then opening closing curly braces with opening closing parenthesis with curly braces, and inside this I'll add form. Then we will mention here the second thing, that is what we will write here, ngForm. Okay, now it's fine. Now what we will do, like earlier what we were doing, we were accessing the direct values, right? So what we were using at that time, console.log, and here I will like we used to write form.value. Okay, now just simply save it with a proper semicolon termination. Okay, let's run this application. So ng serve -- open, enter. Just wait for a few seconds, and then it will show you the output in the browser screen. So you can see Angular codes by TypeScript, template driven form in Angular for accessing ngModelGroup value in component TS. Okay, we have two fields. Let's say put the data abc at gmail.com. Okay, now right click on inspect. So those were the suggestion. Okay, if there is no suggestion, you can type it manually. Okay, don't get confused. Now click on console. The moment when I submit this form, you can see it shows user details. If I expand it, user detail object, and then we have email as well as name. So as per your submission, like if you are submitting blank, it will come blank. If you are providing any value, it will come with value. Okay, so this is normally how we do. But if you are interested in particular that value, particular that group, so in that case what we will do, we will use console.log. Then we will write form.value then we will write here value dot user details. Okay, now save it, and now just resubmit the data. So let's say abc at abc.com. now submit it. The moment I submit, you can see there are two console, right? The first one is showing user detail and complete user detail with object details, right? But in the second one, you can see we are directly getting the values, that is email and ABC, email and name. Okay, so this is exactly how we can access the direct values in Angular template driven form using. So basically in this session we learned how to access ngModelGroup value in component TS file. So I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we'll discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.